All right, welcome back to NewTabb Sports YouTube. This is a new segment we're going to do. Today is Monday after Week 12 of the NFL season. I'm Travis.
I'm Ben.
Ben, you guys remember us. Yesterday, we are two pretty big Panther fans, so we're going to start off with the unfortunate debacle that transpired yesterday. If you don't know, the Panthers lost 30-27, their third straight loss. Ben, I'll start. Who deserves the blame for yesterday's loss, in your eyes?
I'm going to take two.
Okay.
Our secondary after injuries and Graham Gano.
Graham Gano.
It's often a Graham Gano's
often a theme. Graham Gano missed one field goal yesterday, but it was a pretty big field goal.
He missed an extra point too, didn't he?
I don't think he missed the extra point yesterday, but he did miss a field goal, 52-yarder with about a minute and a half or so left. Put Seahawks in pretty good field position to get down the field, kick the game-winning field goal. I don't know if you put yesterday's game on Graham Gano as much as it is just the defense. The offense was amazing for most of the game. Turnovers and not.
McCaffrey had a good game.
Yeah, McCaffrey had a great game. Turnovers and not converting in the red zone.
Which we're one of the top teams.
One of the top teams. First drive, we get down there, stopped inside the 5. A turnover on downs. You got to at least get points out of that.
I know the 5-yard line.
Yeah, I know that we're trying to get points, and
it's
that's
the beginning
good.
Of the game. You don't.
But we got to get points out of that, and I think we did the same thing again. I didn't watch the whole game. I think
it was at the end.
Yeah, I heard we got 13 points off the red zone. We got like 4 or 5 trips in there, but and that's not good. We have to put the ball in the end zone. As far as the defense, man, a couple of weeks ago I said that I trust our defense more than anybody else, but
That's a bad idea.
you know, even Luke Kuechly is starting to look like a shell of himself.
Did you see? It was last week's game versus the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
He got thrown off pretty hard by Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
He was supposed to fill a gap, and he was on the other side.
If Luke Kuechly, who I have always thought was the overall best player on the team, if he is the one that's making like a lot of mistakes game after game, then we have a problem.
Do you put any of it on any of the coaching staff? Ron Rivera with the play calling.
I mean, you have to. 3 straight losses. You have to put it there. I mean, the players can't show.
Go for 2 against the Lions.
Yeah,
missed that.
we
could have went to overtime.
That's something that has been. We've never done that. We've never been the team to do that. It definitely surprised me. Yeah,
really conservative. I think how we play.
I've seen that happen a lot with like the back taking the field goal back and stuff. But I've seen that a lot around the league. But I've never seen us even ever try to do that without needing to. You know, I've only seen.
It wasn't overtime.
Yeah, I mean,
game was on the line. Could have kicked the field goal, went to overtime. It was like a minute left in the game.
Yeah. You just think back to the Thursday night game. 3 weeks ago.
We got shredded.
I mean, we're 6-2 going into that game. How good do we feel, man? I mean, we're going against a team that we feel like is as good if
the AFC version of us.
Yeah.
If I'm not pretty accurate about that.
Yeah. We feel, and then we get blown out, and it's all down here from there. At 6-5 right now, we were 6-2. Looking ahead next week, we got Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay. After that, we have the Browns, the Saints, the Falcons, and the Saints again. Looking at everything,
best scenario I see is 4-1 in that stretch, and that's being completely honest.
I have always thought that we would. I sense no fear in the Panthers community, or in the way that the Panthers like they carry themselves. I sense no fear in the Saints. I mean, I know that they are in many ways the 2018 version of us in 2015, like just offense, defense, special teams.
I would go farther to say that. I don't know if you've read anything, but they're putting up touchdowns at a higher rate than any
Yeah.
team in history.
Yeah, they're
07 Patriots scoring at a better rate than they are.
yeah, their punter doesn't play. I mean,
I could be their punter.
their punter doesn't play. I mean, it's something that is, you know, when you think back to 2009, which is the last time that they were this good. Like, we beat them late in the season. They weren't resting anybody. You know, as far as the Bucks and the Browns, I
Do
feel
you
like
think they should rest anybody? Week 17.
they won't.
At home.
They
versus
won't.
us.
They won't.
It's not gonna be.
They're not going to.
I think the Rams will lose another game,
I think.
and I like the Rams, but I think they might lose another game.
I mean, as far as
They're
sitting, the Saints, Sean Payton, they don't like us. We don't like them. If they can keep us out of the playoffs, they're
The
going
Saints
to
could
try
lose
to.
another game.
The Saints have to play the Steelers.
That's what I'm looking at. I think they got Cowboys, Bucks, us, Steelers, us.
I think they could lose that Cowboy game.
That's
Cowboys
it.
have a good defense,
Thursday
and
night
and
this
they're and they're
That's our
sneaky good at
That's our
home.
Thursday night good game in Dallas.
And you know, teams coming in to is that game in Dallas?
Mm-hmm. On a Thursday night.
Yeah, teams coming. The away defense is always struggle in Thursday night games.
I think,
and they haven't had
defense.
Yeah.
Defense is always struggling
Yeah.
on Thursday night.
All right.
Then my other team, I just want to look real quick at the Rams. They've got Lions,
Yeah.
Bears both away, home versus the Eagles, at Cardinals, home versus the Niners. They could lose 2 of those games, maybe 3.
Yeah, and one thing, like, people say that the playoffs are over for us going into the playoff picture. As far as after Rams, Saints, Bears, which I think the Bears are for real as far as keeping their.
They're going to hold their playoffs.
They're going to hold their home playoff.
Trubisky
game.
comes back this week.
Yeah, they're gonna hold their home playoff game. But as far as the Cowboys, the Vikings, the Skins, and the Seahawks, like those are as unpredictable teams as we are. You know, the Cowboys, you never know what you're going to get with them. Even though I think the Skins, I think they have a hard time letting go of their playoff spot. Even though Alex Smith got hurt.
I'm looking at remaining strength of schedule after week 12.
The Skins have the Eagles next. They got the Giants again, the Jags, the Titans, and they might.
Cowboys, guess what their strength of schedule rank is?
What?
2.
What does that mean?
They have the second hardest strength of schedule left. Because they've got Saints,
Eagles.
And you know what ours is?
Bucks, Giants, Cowboys, Colts. They got to go to Indianapolis and
playoff team.
And Andrew Luck is on fire.
Playoff team.
They're playing. Yeah.
You know what ours is?
What?
Number 1.
I mean, the NFC has literally.
It's so hard.
The only team that I'm looking at it is Rams 1, Saints 1, Rams 2, Bears 3, Cowboys 4, Vikes 5, Skins 6, Hawks 7, us 8, Eagles 9, Packers 10. The only team that I can say is totally out of that is the Packers. I mean, they're not totally out of it. They still have the best quarterback in the world.
3% chance of making the playoffs.
I mean, this is a lot like how it was last year. And it wasn't even this bad last year. If the Panthers don't make the playoffs, is Ron Rivera still your head coach next year?
I would actually blame Eric Washington.
Why?
It's because our defense has been bleeding this year. We've got
as far
good
as
talent on our defense.
Where
does our defense rank in the league?
As far as just looking ahead and seeing what more can we get out of Ron Rivera that we haven't already, you know, I don't know if you fire him because just 3 years he's had so many bright spots in his career as far as the 7-8-1 season, the 15-1 season, 12-4 season.
Two Coach of the Year awards.
Two Coach of the Year awards, staying with him through the hard
I
years.
fire him. I think he should be sat down with, talked about his play calling. I think they should do that before the end of the season. Because play calling's been not an issue like it was last year.
I think this play.
But it's been still, it's there. It's an issue still.
I have a inkling about something. Cam Newton's been great this year. He's had one of his best
season of his
best
career,
passing year ever. All the things that people told him to do, completion percentage, checking the ball down, making better decisions, not running as much.
It's all there.
That's all there, and that all looks good after the game. He's had 3 straight games of over 100 passer rating, yet he's had 3 losses. You know,
did you see?
I don't know if Cam Newton doing what he's doing now is helping the team to his highest potential. You know, I don't. Maybe he doesn't have it anymore. He can't run all the time, or he can't just do a QB dive on third and 2 anymore. But even though this new Cam and with Norv Turner's offense, it's been spectacular looking. But these last 5 games, it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be hard, and I already we don't have the best receivers. We have a lot of weapons, but we don't have the best throwing slants in the cold in Cleveland. Who else do we have?
In the Saints.
At the Saints.
At Bucks.
You know.
But then
I feel like the only people that are going to do it has to be Cam and Greg. You know, it has to be Cam and Greg.
Greg's season hasn't been great.
You know,
he's having a good year, but it's not. I
feel like those Christian McCaffrey has been a focal point, and he's gotten the ball way more than anybody else. But I feel like as you keep going, these young guys, they're gonna make plays, but they're not gonna be there in the fourth quarter.
One player I like to see them get the ball to is Jarius Wright. He's got a lot of third down catches. Yeah, and I do.
Jarius Wright.
I think
he was like a 4th or 5th string receiver in Minnesota.
3rd or 4th.
Yeah,
but he knows North Turner's offense, which I like. I like Jarius Wright. He's really reliable every time I've seen him get the ball. Mm-hmm. Devin Funchess had a terrible game against.
Do we keep Devin Funchess next year? He's on his last year of his contract. A lot of people have said we just
look what we did last year. What did we do last year? We traded Kelvin because we believed in Devin. We gave Devin a full season.
I don't think you give up Devin. But if it comes down to him or Mario Addison,
Mario Addison's going to retire.
I give up Mario Addison because Devin has had his low points like the Detroit game, but I also feel like Devin is a big play receiver. I like him a little bit more than I like Kelvin Benjamin when we were playing, but not terribly more.
I like Benjamin's explosiveness this rookie year. That was
his rookie year. I mean, he was in that last year, 2016, 2017, and 17, like
he lost it.
Blatantly a deep threat just because of his height. You know, he was just a deep threat. He wasn't extremely reliable. He wasn't a very good route runner at all. Devin Funchess is a better route runner than him, and that's not saying too much. Mm-hmm. You know, I would keep Devin Funchess just because he's a good solid. He's not a number 1. You know, DJ Moore is going to turn into our number 1. DJ Moore has been great these last 2 weeks.
Did you see what he did to Darius Slay?
Yes. Yeah,
that's your all-pro corner,
that was a great play.
That's your all-pro corner.
Better than our corners.
Take that back.
Who? Dante the best. But
do you know James Bradbury?
Oh yeah, I forgot Bradbury. Bradbury is our best corner. Bradbury is our best cover corner. We have a cover guy and a ball hawk. I mean, even Bradbury be getting messed up some plays, like at least one play a game. We don't have any lockdown guys. We have a cover.
Didn't he?
And we have a.
Lockdown.
We locked down Julio Jones, but we give up
AJ Green, right?
Moss catch to DJ Moore. Is that his name?
Who?
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore plays on our team.
He plays for the somebody's named DJ Moore
Calvin
plays for the
Falcons.
The Seahawks.
Oh yeah. He did. I think I will blame our Seahawks loss directly on
David Moore.
I'll blame the Seahawks loss. I'm gonna say this directly on our secondary. Corn Elder
can't catch him.
He was playing.
They went for him.
The ball went this close to his head. I watched the replay 5 or 6 times. It was this close to his head.
I mean, you can't pay, like, people say that we choked. Like, Stephen A. said something very, like, profound when LeBron missed those free throws like a month or so ago. He said LeBron didn't choke. Choke means that you do something out of the ordinary when the pressure is put on you. Corn Elder and Captain Mutherland didn't do anything they wouldn't have done in the first quarter.
The coverage was blown on the Mutherland play.
If this was played in the first quarter, those guys are nickelbacks. Captain Mutherland may have been a good outside corner in his first stint in Carolina, but right now he should not be guarding Tyler Lockett. Right now, Corn Elder should not be guarding Doug Baldwin.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys. Corn Elder is a.
I gotta give him credit. They did attack that week.
You don't really give him credit. Anybody knows if your best corner goes out, you go to that side. Like, even if they just go out for a play.
Yeah, but I don't think they even threw it James Bradbury's way that much. Nobody's gonna do that.
They threw it to David Moore. All right, AFC playoff picture. You got Chiefs 1, Pats 2, Ravens 3, Chargers 4, Houston 5, Steelers 6, 7, Colts 7, Titans 8, 9 Dolphins 10, Bengals, and the Broncos. Ravens are the 3 seed with Lamar Jackson two wins in a row. Is Lamar Jackson's success sustainable?
They're already averaging way more points a game than they were with Flacco.
Who have they played? They played Jacksonville last week. They
played the Raiders and the Bengals.
The Bengals and the
the Bengals was a close game.
That's
sure. Yeah, the Raiders are gonna.
They play on Sunday night on the 9th against the Chiefs. Then if they don't get blown out, and I'll trust Lamar Jackson. Just don't turn the ball over. Make good decisions against the Chiefs. They play the Falcons next week. That'll be a hard game. If they can, I've said that like the AFC from top to bottom, maybe better than the NFC. I think I'm changing my mind on that. I don't even know if past the Steelers, I don't know if you have like a contender for winning a playoff game. The Colts, I don't know if they win a playoff game away from home. Not against any of these teams. Maybe the Chargers.
Houston doesn't get one in the wild card round?
Nah, Houston. I'm talking about Steelers, Chargers, Houston, Ravens, Pats, Chiefs. Those are your guys. Those are your people that are winning playoff games.
You think Titans make it?
Maybe they do. But even if they do, they don't win a playoff game.
That's a pretty close division this year.
They don't win a playoff game. Playoff picture. I think they're in the NFC. I think there are 9 teams that if they're in there, they can win a playoff game. Like maybe not the Skins. I think there are 8 teams. The Vikes, Cowboys.
If the Skins were healthy.
I mean, but they're not. They're not. I don't think the Packers can win a playoff game. I don't think the Skins can win a playoff game. I think the Eagles, Panthers, Hawks, Vikes, Cowboys, Bears, Rams, and Saints can all win a playoff game, like with anybody, whoever they play. Mm-hmm. Because the NFC is so like all
tight.
of them have their own like.
It's like the Western Conference versus the Eastern Conference and the
advantages.
Your Western Conference.
Like maybe if you play this team at home, if it's snowing and their defense plays well and their running game's doing it, and then if this team does that and this and that, like the AFC, like
you've got your Patriots.
You got your Patriots.
Everyone else.
The Chiefs are going to be there. The Chiefs are unpredictable in the playoffs. In the playoffs, they could lose to Pittsburgh. Houston's going to win. They're going to have a home playoff game for the 18th year in a row. Yeah.
What else did you want to talk about? Because I got a topic.
What's up?
MVP race.
In The NFL.
Yes.
MVP
So we've
race.
got, this is NFL's official. Breeze, Mahomes, Goff, Rodgers, Luck, Rivers,
Rodgers who?
Aaron Rodgers.
For
I
what?
don't disagree. I don't agree with that. Andrew Luck 5, Rivers, Ryan, Wilson,
I want to speak on Rodgers real quick.
Roethlisberger.
Rodgers this season is the epitome of why, there's a difference between the best and the greatest. You know, Skip said this today. He's like, if Tom Brady is on Aaron Rodgers' team, are they 4-7 right now? Are they 4-7-1 right now? Off the top of your head, you're thinking, no, they're not. You know, I've watched a lot of these Packers. I think the last 2 or 3 Packer games have been on television. I watched the Patriots game. I watched the Seahawks game. I watched the game last night.
They blew the Seahawks.
I mean, you just see it. They were all away games, okay, against good teams, okay. But if you are that guy, I feel like you have to pull at least one of those out.
You gotta carry your team and hold them to.
You gotta carry your team.
You gotta hold them.
Even
to that
if
standard.
Tom Brady has time after time after time took worse guys and won.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at home, not at home, in the playoffs, in the regular season. Maybe they had their bad September and October, but at the end of the day, Tom Brady.
You don't want to play in January and February.
You don't. I mean, like the Packers have had.
Okay, so MVP race.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Mahomes? Because
I think right now Mahomes is your MVP.
he's second in voting.
He's just been.
He had a 5 turnover game.
But that was the
On
best
a
game of the year.
Big stage.
He was the best player in the best game of the year.
5 turnover game on a big stage, and
they almost won.
2 or 3 of them were touchdowns.
And they could have
It
won.
was 2,
and
I
they
think.
still. And they were still. If you have a 5 turnover game and you lose in the last minute, like that's
You don't think
that's
Breeze
because
is having a?
Breeze is having an unbelievable year. But the thing about Drew Brees is not doing anything this year that he hasn't done before in his career at least twice. Like Drew Brees had a 5,000 yard, but I think Drew Brees deserves it just as much as Patrick Mahomes. And if he got it, I would not be mad at all.
If Drew Brees wins MVP and or Super Bowl, what do you put him on your GOAT list?
I mean,
Because he's
if he wins the MVP and the Super Bowl this year, he has 2. That's the same with Peyton Manning, but it means more because Peyton Manning was Panera Bread his last year. That's you're gonna go with your. I mean, Joe, Tom, and you know.
Is he a top
I don't know
five?
if you
Here,
put
I'll
him.
make
I
it
don't know if
easy.
you put him above Peyton
is
Manning.
he a top 3?
No.
No, top 5.
I think you put him. I think you put him above Dan Marino at that point. You have to. I think you had to put him above Dan Marino at that point, just because he's broken all of Dan Marino's records. He's broken all the records, and he won 2 Super Bowls. You know, I think you had to put him over Dan Marino because Dan Marino was in that top 5. You know, you put him above Dan Marino. You put him above Terry Bradshaw, even though he won 4. But this guy literally has done quarterback. He has. Aaron Rodgers plays quarterback better than anybody else. Tom Brady plays quarterback for his team better than anybody else. Like Drew Brees, literally, he's done it every year better than everybody else. He's thrown for 5,000 yards, 4 times?
Is more than anybody else combined.
Nobody's ever done more than once.
He's got more
he has a
regular
70 career. He has a 60-something, 70%,
He's on pace for 77.
77. What, bro?
This year.
That's crazy. He's about to break the passing record.
He's got the yards for regular season, but Tom Brady is more because of playoffs.
Nobody cares.
I think he's got the regular season touchdown passing record and a couple other things as well.
I mean, that's did you know before Michael Thomas, Drew Brees did not have a Pro Bowl receiver. He didn't have a Pro Bowl receiver. He had a Pro Bowl like running back Darren Sproles or tight end Jimmy Graham for 2 seconds. But before then, all the Devery Anderson, Joel Horn, Marcus Colston, those guys were underrated. Those guys were good, but they were never Pro Bowl guys.
Bush?
Who?
Bush?
Bush who?
No, I'm tripping.
I mean, you got to, man. This guy's 6 feet tall. He obliterated his shoulder 15 years ago. Came out of Purdue. Went to New Orleans when they were underwater.
Went to Chargers first.
I mean, no, I'm talking about after the Chargers. He went to New Orleans in 2005. Helped that whole community out. I mean, he's like that, man. He's in my top 5. Yeah. Other than that, we're gonna finish out. We're gonna finish this up. Sorry that it's been such a long wait for content. We had some technical difficulties.
We had some technical difficulties
with things.
We had some technical difficulties with Travis.
We won't go into that, but
no, it's cool. It's cool.
We hope to see you guys back. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and later. Oh yeah, like, subscribe, comment. You know who you are. If you don't, I'll see you.
Follow us on Instagram. Not there.
It's going down right then.